Do you ever get tired of each other? Was there any Beauty Within topic that you guys had conflicts about?
Conflicts. At the end of the day, we're like, see ya, bye. Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Within. It's your host, Felicia.
And Rowena.
And this video is going to be a little different because we wanted to share with you guys something that we've been working on for probably the last 5 or 6 months this year. And we're also going to be doing our first free-for-all question and answer.
Yeah. We asked you guys on our personal Instagrams to send us through any questions you had about Felicia, me, Beauty Within as a channel, or even your own skincare or lifestyle questions, because we really wanted to take this opportunity to get to know you guys more and let you guys know us more.
Which we kind of don't really get the opportunity to do because we're just sitting here like educating on skincare, trying out skincare. So this is the video that hopefully changes that all, and we can all just drink our beverage, put on a mask while you watch this, and hang out.
Before going into all the fabulous questions you guys sent over through our socials, we're going to talk about our exciting jewelry collaboration and launch.
If you haven't followed our Instagram or our Beauty Within community, it's already been launched. It was last week. The bracelet, and then the necklace.
Yeah.
Ana Luisa is a jewelry company based in Brooklyn in New York City. They reached out to us and they were just like, do you want to collaborate?
Yeah, and the thing with Ana Luisa, they're a lot more sustainable than most other big jewelry companies, and the founders were alums of the huge designer luxury high-end
Like
jewelry.
LVMH.
Yeah. And so when they reach out, we're like, dude, their whole brand messaging aligns fully with Beauty Within, so let's create some magic.
Yes, and this was the first time that we ever collaborated this closely with any brand actually. And it's funny because we do skincare when we first came out with jewelry. But I think it's very complementary because it's all got to do with the beauty on the outside and on the inside. So they said you could come up with any design inspiration that we wanted. And for both of us, especially because it's based off Beauty Within, we wanted it to reflect like traditional values while bringing a contemporary twist to it. Both of us, we just don't like taking things off. Like I'll change earrings and stuff just for outfit purposes. But in terms of like the staple pieces of jewelry, we're pretty consistent, simple. So with the meaning or the inspiration of this necklace and the bracelet is, it looks like a flower, and it came from the design of the ancient coins with the circle and then the square, and sometimes they had like engravings on the plate, and that was money back then. But in terms of shape and style, I think that's something that you don't really see much of.
No.
And then we were just like compiling pictures that we saw on Pinterest.
Creating like a mood board,
Yeah.
like finding anything that inspires us. And then Felicia found a picture of 5, 6 coins stacked on top of each other, and they're tied very beautifully. And then when we saw that, we're like, ooh, it kind of looks like a flower. So like, what if the design was a flower, but we put a cutout in the middle? So that was born in her head. My idea was to put it on a bracelet to keep it consistent.
So then that was how the shape kind of formed. So the symbolic meaning is actually much deeper than just a coin.
In traditional Chinese culture, the way that they looked at the coin is Wai Yuan. So like outside is circle, nei fang, and then there's the square in the middle. And that's kind of representative of how a person should be. On the outside, you should be, smooth around the edges.
Well-rounded.
Yeah, it's like on the outside, you can appear soft and feminine. You're being flexible. You're more like water. But then that's why the inside, there's a square because you're very sure.
Like you're structured, you're solid, you're like grounded.
Yes. So in that definition, it's a reminder for me to be very solid in, who I am in my core, but not to project that outside.
And I think that has to do with the duality. Like the yin and yang. Same kind of with the 5 placements of the coins, right? Even though the inspiration that we saw had 6 coins strapped together, we ended up going with the 5. And it's funny because 5 also has a very symbolic and important meaning in Chinese culture. There's like wuxing, which is the 5 elements: fire, earth, metal, water. And then even for the bracelet, we went through iterations of how many to put on, how big the individual flowers were.
Yeah.
And it went through like 1 to 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And now this has 5.
I think
so
it's
there's
perfect.
5 little flowers as well as 5 petals. And then Ana Luisa took all those pictures and inspirations that we had and they basically
created this.
The sides also got carved out, which is just kind of like that contemporary element to it, which goes back to tying traditional with modern. It was the first time that we created something from inception.
Scratch. Yeah, and see it be birthed. I think with anything that you own, you can attach meaning to people, places, and things. It's just what inspired us to create it. But if you're like, I don't care about traditional culture, I don't care about Chinese coins, it's a beautiful flower.
Yeah, but also it comes in 3 different lengths.
All the chains are adjustable.
So big wrist, small wrist, everything in between, hot, warm porridge, whatever you are.
Yeah.
So in terms of the metal, it's 14K plated brass. It's hypoallergenic. Some people have really bad reactions to certain jewelry because of nickel, almost 15% of the population apparently.
This wouldn't be a Beauty Within video if we don't nerd out over some type of ingredient and metals.
If you have experienced any type of irritation, rash, or itchiness, it might be the nickel, and nickel is a natural white metal that's mixed with other metals to create alloy, and it can be found in a wide range of things. So when you see hyperallergenic jewelry, which is what this is, it means that it's made from pure metals like titanium or 14 to 18K gold, sterling silver, also stainless steel. So you can be safe if you have any type of reaction to jewelry pieces. So that's just something really exciting that we worked on this year. And you can get it as individual items or you can get it as a set because it was designed to be together.
Like, sweaty, you're so clammy.
Talking about balance, it's like dry and wet.
This is yin and yang right here.
Yeah, so go onto the Ana Luisa site and you can check out all the details below, and we're really proud and excited that we came out with it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it as well.
Yeah, we hope you guys love it.
Now going on to the other fun part of
Q&A.
this video. So on Rowena's Instagram and on my Instagram, we asked you guys, ask us anything you want to ask.
Yes.
So it's a free-for-all. We split these up into skincare questions, lifestyle. I also got a lot of like friendship and channel questions.
Are we gonna do a rapid round of questions? What is your favorite color?
White. Is that, that's a shade. That's a, no, rose pink.
Rose pink.
Okay.
Mine's any shade of pastel colors.
Sweet or savory?
Depending on my mood.
I think it's normally sweet.
It's usually sweet.
Yeah.
You're usually savory.
Yeah.
What is your spirit fruit?
Oh my gosh, a grapefruit.
A grapefruit.
It's like sour,
It's not your
sweet,
favorite
bitter.
fruit. It is your favorite fruit.
Yeah. I vibe with it.
You're pretty soft on the outside. Oh, you're pretty hard to peel. Are you hard to peel? Your like inner stuff is like, it takes time.
That got deep. Never thought that far into
Right?
grapefruit. What's your spirit fruit?
Someone gave me a rose apple, the Taiwanese, the foamy one. It's actually Steven Lim from BuzzFeed.
Oh.
Because he was like, the first time I saw this fruit, I was like, oh, it's probably not like that great. But like, as soon as I bit into it, I was like, this is so refreshing.
There you go, the foamy fruit.
Spirit animal.
Oh, dolphin.
Dolphin.
Yeah, they're just so carefree. They're
really smart.
Yeah, and they like traveling in packs, but they're also very like individual, and they're like.
And you know what they say? What you like in an animal is what you like in a mate.
I gotta find someone who's like losing a chromosome. And very smooth. Buttery skin.
So slippery. Yes. Great white shark.
Oh yes.
Mysterious, travel alone, super cool.
Yeah.
Apex predators, misunderstood.
Teeth. Oh, beverage of choice.
What's yours?
Coffee.
Matcha lattes, chai lattes, something that's not as intense as coffee.
Let's start off with skincare. We'll take a few. There were quite a bit.
We should actually ask each other. That would make it more fun.
Okay.
Gimme.
Okay. First question from Tira Laramira.
I'm getting nervous again. It's like you're about to ask me.
Okay, what is one skincare item that you wish existed and hasn't been invented yet?
Probably gonna cross this over with diet or something you ingest, like a magic pill or elixir that you take that makes your skin glow from inside out.
So it's like collagen powder on crack that actually works.
Yeah.
Or that
like
potion?
legit lit from within just by like drinking this thing. You're gonna like this question. This is from Beauty News 121. How do you maintain your skin from the inside?
It really comes down to your routine, feeding yourself with actual vegetables and the right combination of grains and water and vitamins from the foods. And then for me is actually taking away certain things like a lot of grease, dairy, and sugar. You're like speaking to your own body.
So for someone who didn't eat a lot of veggies, I remember when we lived together, she would just like butter, spaghetti, more butter. And I was like, where are your veggies? But now that you're trying to eat more, have you found like, what's the biggest noticeable difference?
I think at the core, it just goes back to really learning to look after yourself for your actual mental well-being, for your skin, for the functioning of your body, and not relying on quick fixes. And with energy release, I used to rely a lot on caffeine and a lot on coffee, and even though I enjoy that, it was too dependent. It was like, oh my God, I need energy, go to that. So it was this really bad conditioning. So if you learn to respect your body, it will respect you and kind of like show you love and radiance. Yes, that is, you know, it's been a long time coming, and I think when you're younger, you just kind of,
Whatever.
Yeah, rely on the fact you're young.
Invincible.
Yeah. How can you tell if a product is working for you? So like hyaluronic acid is something you really like. How do you tell if it's like a good one?
If I wake up the next morning and my skin is like, ah. But if I wake up and my skin is like,
yeah,
then I know it's not really hydrating. Like if everything else in my routine, if my toner and my moisturizer is the same, just switching out the serums, you'll be able to tell. And I think it's with time too. With time, the more you use something, the more you'll be able to understand how well your face reacts or doesn't react with.
Because sometimes you use something new and nothing changes.
Yeah, and that might take time. It might be because you need to use it for longer. Things with like vitamin C or things that help with hyperpigmentation. For hydration, it's probably one of those things that you can tell more instantly, like within a day or within a night. Okay, from Kik Kalb, how do you refresh your skin during the day?
Oh, mist. Yes. It's just like, and I was reading the study that your skin dehydrates about every 2 hours. Ooh. So when you have mist, like we love the Glow Recipe watermelon mist. We love the fresh
vitamin juice
nectar spray. Oh my God, that smells like a dream.
And the Laneige cream skin has a mist one too.
Oh yeah, but even the really cheap rose water that we got from iHerb, that's also really good.
For you, it's dry for me.
In case you're wondering, mists can be used as toners. From Skin Claired, the one skincare product you can't live without.
Moisturizer, SPF.
What's the current faves?
I just started using Make Prem's.
The blue
micro tension cream. Put it on at night, put it on in the morning, put it on at night, put it on in the morning again. And the feeling and the thought I had all 4 times were, where have you been all my life? Like, I've missed you.
Been all my life, life.
Dear friend, welcome back to my life. It's your time to shine again. From Kelly Kane. What's the best skincare advice you've ever been given? This is a good question.
I think through the channel, what we've learned is that hydration is key. The more water you can get into your skin cells, the better. But another one is probably from my mom, because when you drink water, it's like working your body, but also flushing out the toxins in your gut so that it doesn't come out on the outside. That's been a habit that I've had to work on because I'm very lazy when it comes to drinking water. So next is our channel
Beauty
questions. Okay. Going with this one because a lot of you asked, but it's taking one from nana.x. How was Beauty Within born? Ding, 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 ding.
Well, Beauty Within was Asian Beauty Secrets before.
Yes. For those of you who've stuck around since then, thank you.
Yeah.
You would have seen it evolve in all the tips and turns it's been through.
And then Beauty Within was created to make it more accessible.
So before, Mia was the host. A lot of you also ask about Mia as well. So she started the channel and it was concentrating on pressure points, acupuncture points,
traditional Chinese medicine, traditional methods to cure or to heal or to help with skin conditions.
And also skincare and some beauty. So it was a lot of things, but 2 years ago, it went through rebranding. Also because Mia had to move moved back to Australia. We do have lives outside of the channel, although our channel is our life now. The lines are blurred. That happened, and then we also wanted to kind of cater to a wider audience. And at the time, interestingly enough, skincare was just starting to boom.
Yeah.
It was like before everyone was still into makeup tutorials as the main thing. And then skincare wellness took off, and it just so happened that was when we found our groove.
We were testing a lot of different video ideas. We did beauty with the foundations, and then we're like, let's just try something with skincare, how it does. Let's try something with self-care. And of all the things we tried, skincare just was the one that,
on the dartboard.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, so people are interested in skincare. And then we kind of broke it up into a very simplified version of each step. That's how the series started.
Taking the deep dive into every step of the skincare.
Yeah.
So moisturizing, toning, serums,
Cleanser,
all of that.
For us, the meaning of the channel or why we even exist is because we want to share with you guys better ways on living life. And skincare is just one aspect of that. Hopefully we can expand to do everything like makeup, lifestyle, diet, because all of that has to do with wellness and improving our own body. Just personally through working on this channel for like 2 years now, every video is a new educating process for us as well. And so being able to share that with you guys, it's like we're collectively enhancing ourselves for the better. Not just on the surface through skincare, but also internally as well, which is something that not everyone was focusing on, especially coming from like a makeup
beauty.
Yeah, everyone's just like, this is how you cover this up. And although that's not a bad thing.
So what does beauty within mean to you? Like what gets you through every day to continue showing up for this cause?
Oh gosh. Little do you know, there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes for every video that you ever see, right?
Yeah. You just see this, but then behind the scenes, oh boy.
Yeah, but I think what makes beauty within different, there's the educating aspect of it, because the more you know, the better decisions you can make in life for yourself, but also with the people around you.
And I think that's one really important thing I wanna like just bring out as like an exclamation mark is we exist to help you guys along your journey. We never wanna sit here to be like, this is what you do for your skin because we know better, because we don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we realize with skincare, with lifestyle, we're all so different and unique that you're gonna live your life one way and someone else might do that, or they might do something else, and that's totally fine.
And then kind of merging that educational aspect with this kind of self-growth. It's like you guys are all kind of learning on the go as well. It's your growth the more you learn, but it's also for us because we're not like role models, you know, we're not like the most well-versed, most educated. We just love to dig deep into things and understand why and how certain things in the body, on the skin take place. And I think over the 2 years, we both realized that this body, we take it for granted. There is so much that we don't understand about it that happens on the inside, and we're very quick to judge things on the outside. Skin issues are daunting. They mess with your confidence, they mess with everything that's happening. But knowing that you're like 1, part of a community, 2, there's so much you can do to it, and 3, learning acceptance is what we try to bring you guys. And beauty within, by definition, is subjective to everyone, but collectively, I think we can all like learn something from everyone as well.
You just hijacked my question.
That was your question?
That was my question, bro.
Completely.
It's okay. It's okay.
So another one for Rowena.
You're just going. It's my turn to ask you.
Oh, is it?
Mint to Chow. Are you guys best friends before Beauty Within?
Yes, we were definitely friends way before this started.
So not best friends, just friends?
Best friend. I don't even know what a best friend is. The thing is, if you're in my life, you are automatically a best friend, you know?
That is true.
Because I feel like the older you get, you're more selective about who you have in.
Who you allow into your life. It's like when you only have limited time to do things and to see friends.
Yeah. 5 years ago, she moved from LA, I moved from Australia, being at the same time, and then we roomed together. We lived with each other for about a year, and then we went our separate ways, did our own thing. You went back to LA, I stayed in New York, and then we came back 2 years ago and did this thing.
Yeah!
So we've always known each other from the inception.
Yeah.
If you guys believe in kind of like past life, I definitely feel like, yes, we must have been 2 little munchkins like sisterly munchkins in
No,
our
that's what
past
happened.
life.
The first day I met her, I remember coming to work and there's just this girl with this like very sour face sitting there, and I was like, like she looks kind of, yeah, she looks kind of cool, but maybe should not approach. But then later on at lunch, I was like, hi, what's your name? And then we got to know each other and we like walked around Central Park, and then just like instantly I was like, wow, I get you,
cold.
yeah.
And then it was like, even though we were brought up in completely different countries, there were so many
similarities.
Yeah.
Fashion choices, music, inside jokes, like the things
Silkworms.
we find funny, yeah.
Raising silkworms. So I feel like the people in your lives, your friends, especially the ones that you don't make a huge effort to stay in contact with, but you're still somehow in contact with, I feel like there's definitely some sort of connection there, you know?
I think the word is
otherworldly.
effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a relationship is effortless, which I feel like not all can be like that, but the ones that are, you just kind of know.
It's that feeling.
Yeah, like whatever I'm going through, whatever it is that I've been through, I know that I can rely on her.
So hopefully you've all kind of found those people in your life. This one's pretty interesting. From Larissa Rosa 11. Do you consider yourself a girl boss? Could I consider you a girl boss?
Sure, go for it.
What's the definition of girl boss to you though?
I don't know. I actually don't really like that word because I think it's being thrown around so like, I'm a girl boss.
I think it first came into popular media attention by
Nasty Gal.
Yes.
Sophia Amoruso.
Yes.
Love her. I love and I appreciate what the word stands for. I think just the way it's used these days. That's the only thing I have against. I have nothing against girl bosses.
Yeah. I hate labels. I feel like you can go through life just doing your thing to the best of your ability, and label is just a way for society to kind of put you in a compartment. How do you describe yourself? Like, it's easy to just have these terms, but I hate terms.
I think it's a combination of being able to handle yourself really well, emotionally, physically, in public settings, when you're alone, when you're in silence, like A, and then B, it's you're walking the walk and you're talking the talk. It's not just like thinking and dreaming and wanting to do all of these things, because that was me before. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a girl boss. Like I think these things, but it's like, you're not doing anything. So you're just the walking like a daydreaming machine. And I think the last thing would maybe be, it's something that I'm working on, it's you're actively helping bring up people around you rather than, you know, like competing or pitting yourself against each other, which is something that I also did a lot when I was younger. Or like being jealous or envious and letting that get the best of you.
Actually, that's a good point. People aren't bosses of, well, actually they are, of themselves, right? It's normally with a collective. You get to a certain point, you grow to a certain point to expand, and you need to then start thinking of others in a way, right? And that's like girl boss.
Yeah.
Okay, is it the last one?
I got you.
Oh, okay.
From Germerlina. Was there any Beauty Within topic that you guys had conflicts about? How did you resolve it?
I think we're both pretty in line with like the purpose of each video and how we kind of approach it, whether it's the topic, the theme, the underlying message.
If I can feel Felicia is like trying to push for this thing, and if I don't see anything wrong with that, even though my opinions may be different, I'll go along with it and vice versa.
You know how some friendships thrive off being like combative and they're like, okay, yeah, moving on next. Like, I don't think we could handle that.
No. Ours like, give me space, but know that I love you.
Yeah. I think we pretty much covered all the points of every single question within that big answer. Last one is like friendships, personal lifestyle.
How old are both of you?
26.
27.
Yes, and her birthday's December, mine's Feb. So Sagittarius, Aquarius.
Her water douses my fire, just like how my mother.
Yeah. Well, wait,
The
no,
balance.
it's air. It's air.
You're air?
Yeah. Aquarius is air. Yes.
Then you my fire. Banana Hannah XOX. What are your MBTI types? Is it INFJ for Rowena and ISTP for Felicia?
No.
Mine is correct. INFJ. Wow, Hannah Banana.
Maybe she watches your videos.
Maybe. Do you? Let us know.
I'm INFP. mediator.
Both the rarest.
What are your top 3 pet peeves in general?
I used to get annoyed by things really easily. Really little things, like tapping of the foot. I think it mostly comes down to being inconsiderate. Those are the things I used to like rile me up. Like I'll actually get like, but I think over the years, I've just like, it's okay.
What else?
Yeah, like it's fine. You know, there's more important things in life to worry about. But I think now is when I see kids being rude to their parents or people being rude to like servers at restaurants.
It's like inconsiderate.
Injustice, I think.
And I think that comes with maturity.
You know how when you're more self-aware, you like ask yourself questions? I'll hear myself getting angry and like slip a word or two of like cuss words. And I'm just like, whoa, like where did this anger come from? Chill out. So I would have conversations in my head with myself, like, I want to go places, but like, why do you need to go places? You just need to calm down and slow down. Like, you good, you'll get there when you get there.
What a tiring conversation.
She's like, cannot relate. This is from GQ09. Love you guys, but I wonder, do you ever get tired of each other?
I think because we spend so much time together, it's not the tired.
Past that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're like, see ya, bye. Go home, flutter home.
You know how like when your friendship evolves to like the maximum, you can sit next to each other and be doing completely different things, but you're like, I enjoy your presence and that's all that I need.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you have someone like next to you.
Yeah, doing
it's like, it's very comforting.
Yeah. It's like almost filling space in a good way.
And I think because we're both actively charging towards the same place, like the same destination or trying to reach the same goals, I don't think we'll ever get tired of each other because we have that bigger picture in mind. And you learn and you grow to accept people for who they are. I think that's one of the most important things I learned.
Okay, this is from Jamie Chong 8. How do we find out what we're really passionate about?
I think you have to find your own woods. You have to go into the woods, spend time alone, spend time with your own thoughts. You have to be brutally honest with yourself to ask yourself the hard questions of what's really important to you, where would you like to see your life, what would you like your life to be like, and commitment and hard work to realize those dreams, and then just like endlessly working towards that. So like having a very solid North Star to the point where if it gets cloudy and if there's a storm, you'll still be able to kind of see the light even if it's really dim and be able to follow that.
And if you don't know what you're passionate about, I also feel like that's part of the journey. Not all of us are blessed with these like, I was born a singer, or like I was born good at something. Right?
I don't think anyone's born like, I know I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
Well, some people are. Good
very,
for you.
very rare.
Yeah, I don't feel like it needs to be this like one huge thing. You should be able to explore. And then you can kind of funnel it down. Especially because I have a lot of sisters. For them, the struggle is like, oh, I don't know what I'm good at. But that also comes with time. And I feel like if you accept and embrace time itself as a great learning process, you know, because you're gonna meet different people on certain days, you're gonna learn certain things about yourself on certain days, then that will lead you closer.
And I think the environment you're in is a big influence too, because your environment can either enable you or distract you from going where you wanna go.
The people in your life.
Aisha Oop 03. What languages do you speak? Where are you guys from?
I speak Cantonese, Mandarin, and English.
Yay!
Yay!
And Aussie.
And Aussie.
I speak Mandarin, a little bit of Taiwanese, and then English from Los Angeles. And I spent a few years of my childhood in Taiwan.
So this is from M. Joverdos. Tips on how to keep a positive mindset.
I think it's just really being mindful of your thoughts. Because in any situation, like if something happens, you naturally react to it. And how you naturally react to it can be a good indicator of like the state that you're in. If you're in a calm state, if something were to happen, you just be like, okay, this thing happened. Right?
It's like, take it as it is.
Yeah, but if you're already like annoyed by something and if you're already angry and if something happens, you're like, oh, like this, da da da. If you were in a different state, you wouldn't react the same way. So I think just being aware and conscious of how you're feeling all the time could help.
Yeah. If you break down your thoughts, you'll realize all the negativity stems from either rooting it in the future on things you can't change or reflecting too much on the past, on also things you can't change. So it's rooted in the wrong place, right? And we always speak of being present. And when you're truly present and you accept things for like where they are now, you don't think of these like past or future experiences, anxiety or regret or anything in the peripherals. You're like right where you need to be.
This is from Marga Koopmans. If you guys are not working in the YouTube industry, what do you think your job would be?
Oh my God, is money not a factor? I could just like do anything?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, I would love to be a painter or a carpenter.
Ooh.
Yes. I love like building things, shaving, like sandpapering, getting into it, and like the arts.
Throughout our work, you said you would love to take photos, like the product shots.
Yes, photography.
Yeah.
Or cheese tasting. What about you?
And then
but then no one would care.
Yeah.
I would just live my best life.
cozy cafe on like Jeju or something.
Oh yeah, by the water.
Yeah. There's a cafe there of a man. We call them Jeju Oppa.
The big glass one, right?
Yeah, like the glass house.
Yeah. Owning a cafe would be legit. From Habiba Muraj, what's your guilty pleasure?
Korean dramas. Current favorites, My Country and Extraordinary You. Favorite of all time, Mr. Sunshine.
Ding!
Ding! What about you? Guilty pleasure?
Cheese! If you think of a grandma, I love all those hobbies. Knitting, baking.
Oh, she does. You actually really like baking.
Yeah, I used to a lot, but in New York City, the kitchens are just like, cannot. I'm not inspired, but when I go home, baking. This is a great one. This is Baby Once. I feel like I'm on a constant pursuit towards perfection, i.e. perfect skin, perfect life. Advice on how to be content with the things as they are now and stop seeking perfection.
This is a perfect question for me.
Yeah.
Because I think I tried my whole life, even up until very recently, and even now. I think like a lot of who I am and what I do is to try to fit this ideal version of myself in my own mind. And because of that, I feel like it holds me back from truly being who I am in fear of other people judging. But I think over time, with the help of friends, with the help of this channel, with the help of life happening and learning about myself, I realized that like, it's so tiring.
Dude, yeah.
And if I'm trying to be this ideal version of myself, then I really start losing touch with who I am. To the point where like sometimes I would just ask myself like, who are you? Like, who are you trying to live for? Like, who are you trying to be perfect for? So I think it comes back to self-awareness and knowing that it really is impossible to be perfect. I think there's a difference between always striving to do your best and be your best versus striving towards this ideal of perfection that you've like created in your head. Yeah, I was talking to a friend recently about like, I'm so good at making movies in my head. I have like a full-on production cast and crew in my head, just making movies all the time, like projecting things that haven't happened yet, making movies about the future of like friendships, guys, whatever. I gotta cut it. You know, it's like to be in the present, you just need to be present and not be so fixated on these things that you can't control.
But that's different to not holding yourself to a high standard, right?
Oh yeah.
You want to always hold yourself to a high standard, but it's very different to perfection.
I project a lot, right? So because I expect a lot from myself, I expect a lot from other people. But I've learned over time that that's not the right formula. The right formula is to expect a lot from yourself and then just leave that as is. Like, don't project that outside.
And then the rest will happen.
Yeah,
whatever
like people are gonna do what they are gonna do. Like everything has its cosmic timing and it's a beautiful thing. And you might be a little bit more ahead or a little bit more behind on your journey than someone else, but you can't compare like your day 1 or like day 50 to someone's like day 120 or something, you know?
And that's acceptance.
I got one for you.
Okay.
This is from Mei Lin. When will you be back more active on YouTube, Fel? Missed your videos! This woman is already working around the clock.
Well, maybe. I said in the last video, maybe 2020 is the year. I think it's all about time management. For Beauty Within, it was like getting Beauty Within to a certain point where it's almost not autopilot, but a lot of things are automated to like work itself with you facilitating, but that takes time, right? It's like even for your own life and your own projects, you need to work at it yourself for a really long time, but eventually you'll be able to like scale, expand, and do all these things. So from Dennis Quad wants a coffee, love that. What's your ideal reward to yourself after a particularly rough day, week, or year?
Well, I would first give you a cup of coffee as a reward for just being awesome. Just sitting in silence and looking outside my window. It's just what I
the simple things. It really
is. All I want. In a clean apartment.
Yeah.
And I think after 3 weeks of intense work, my apartment is finally like, it's like I'll go home tonight and I'll be able to do that for the first time in 3 weeks.
And actually breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want K-drama.
It's like that time that you have carved out for yourself. Whatever that is, can literally be doing nothing.
So this one is from Jessia Hollis. Any tips for overcoming imposter syndrome?
I feel like the root of that really is just coming down to knowing who you are. And although we show certain faces to different people, especially because we're on a channel, right? Like, I guess the pressure is also another thing. You know, you need to perform, you need to be a certain way, but if that's your job, you have to hold yourself to a high standard and you just got to do your job, right? But not at the expense of losing who you are. But change is good, not to be confused with change and growth. But yeah, if you know who you are, then things like judgments and pressures will not morph you for the worse.
I think an important thing to know is that with time, the more you get to know yourself, the more comfortable you become with yourself, the more you're able to adapt to these changes. Because if I think about me sitting here talking to you guys 3, 5, 10 years ago, that imposter syndrome would have hit like a brick wall. I would have been like, who am I to like sit here and be able to talk about these things to these people when like I don't even know who I am. But I think with time, the more you get to know yourself and the more comfortable you become. I can wear fancier clothes than I would normally would. I can do my hair and makeup different than what I would do like on a day-to-day basis. But at the core, it's like I'm still the same person.
Yeah. If you're an open book, it's like you have nothing to hide. All you have is yourself and your own truths. And it's like either people come and you take it or you leave, you know, and it's fine. You're not supposed to satisfy everyone out there, and that's fine.
That's the whole thing with being perfect.
Yeah.
You cannot. And the sooner you realize that, the easier your life will be.
So we hope you guys now know a little bit more. You probably know a lot more about the channel, where we came from, personally, friendship, and yeah, maybe we can do this more often. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and remember to check out our jewelry if you haven't already. Yay! And we'll see you in the next episode.